Experience the art of storytelling with the Front Parlor series. Learn what's new at the Iroquois Museum. And catch a performance from Will Pedicone. It's all ahead on this episode of AHA, A House for Art.
Funding for AHA has been provided by your contribution and by contributions to the WMHT Venture Fund. Contributors include the Leo Cox Beach Philanthropic Foundation, Chet and Karen Alpelka, Robert and Doris Fisher-Melisardi, and the Robeson Family Foundation.
At M&T Bank, we understand that the vitality of our communities is crucial to our continued success. That's why we take an active role in our community. M&T Bank is pleased to support WMHT programming that highlights the arts, and we invite you to do the same.
Hi, I'm Matt Rogowitz, and this is AHA, A House for Arts, a place for all things creative. I recently attended an event in Troy where people gathered to share stories based on a common theme. The event was hosted by the Front Parlor series, which holds monthly open mics dedicated to the art of storytelling.
Good evening, everyone.
Can you hear me out there?
So this is actually my first time of doing this.
This is like better than HBO. It's better than Bridgerton. This is where you get the juicy stuff about your neighbors.
I'm the co-host of the Front Parlor series, which is a monthly storytelling open mic in Troy. We come together to share true stories from our lives in less than 5 minutes without any notes. So folks are familiar with The Moth. It's in the same style as that. And anyone can come and step in front of the mic and share a story.
Tonight's theme is New Beginnings. So this was partially inspired by the workshop that we did with RISE, with refugees and immigrants who, obviously have a very big new beginning as they come here. But we always say our themes are just a jumping off point. You don't have to tell a story quite as grand as moving to a new country. It can be as small as you want it to be, and it can be anything that's inspired by this theme.
Hello. It's my first time at storytelling.
People tell stories, I think, because we all have this urge to share from our lives and to be seen by our community. Like, one of the coolest things about what we do is that people who've never been in front of a mic before will go up and just speak from their heart, and everyone else in that room will just be totally captivated, and they'll be oohing and eyeing or sighing or whatever reaction they have. And it's really validating, I think, for the storytellers to have that experience of being validated by the people around them. I've seen myself as a storyteller for a really long time. My professional work as a journalist really is, at the end of the day, storytelling in a different form. So, even since high school, I was doing journalism on my school paper, did that all through college and for my entire career. So I think I started specifically in this open mic style storytelling, kind of right toward the end of college when I encountered The Moth. That's, kind of the iconic storytelling organization. I attended a couple events and I was just really enchanted by it. I felt like I already kind of had those skills from my work as a journalist. And ever since, I've just loved it, and I kind of can't get enough of it. I think storytelling has allowed me to actually understand myself in a different way. The process of crafting a story kind of forces you to reflect and be vulnerable and make sense of your experiences. And so a lot of the pivotal moments of my life I have shared in Troy in front of a microphone, and it's really helped me make sense of all of it.
Hi, I'm Claire. I've been doing this for a little bit now, and I'm getting a little more confident, especially with the big, huge audience like this. I'm a little nervous, but I'm doing okay. I recently had an ending, let's put it that way, and some people know what my ending has been. just getting divorced after 42 years of marriage. But I'm not looking that way. I am looking forward, and I'm seeing my new beginning with one door closing, another door opening.
One of them that sticks out was from one of our regular storytellers who has, sort of like I have, used the open mic as a way to process an experience in her life. She had gone through a divorce recently after being married for many decades. And so at this most recent event, she told a story about adjusting to life on her own.
I had to, at 63, learn how to live by myself. And I did not like it, and I still am struggling with it. I don't like kind of going home to a quiet place, no lights on. Sometimes I'll leave a light on, sometimes I won't. I'm really kind of struggling, but I've only been out, I think it'll be a year in August that I moved into my own place. So I'm just learning to have fun, and not just think about being alone, and things. So there are a lot of advantages in that, they don't rewash the dishes that are in your sink, okay? They're just as dirty as when you left them. The silverware isn't all lined up, in the drawer, because they looked at it and saw it and I didn't have it that way and then they did it. So you leave a mess, or you make a mess, you leave a mess, it's gonna be there. So that's kind of good, because then I'm gonna do it the way I want it anyway, right?
It's been so cool for all of us who come to Front Parlor to see her evolution and the way she's gained confidence, both in front of the mic and in her own life.
And I just want to know, how long does it take to kind of really be comfortable with yourself in your own little place? So that is my journey, and that is my new beginning, learning how to love and live by myself. Thank you.
I've also given out fun little prompts on the table, so we call these flash nonfiction.
Let's say the theme is new beginnings. We'll print out a question that says, when was the last time you did something new? And we'll hand out these little pieces of paper that people can answer and then hand up to the front anonymously. And then what we do is, between each of the storytellers, I take one or two of those little cards and I read them in front of the mic, and they're often pretty funny or irreverent, and it's a way for people to participate even if they're not willing to get up in front of the mic just yet.
When was the last time you tried something new? About an hour ago, I had the cinnamon apple caramel crepe. Wonderful. Okay. Happy for you.
When was the last time you tried something new? Last week, my mom tried apologizing to me, and I love the tried in these sentences, forgiving her. I always tried to understand her and never do. This is worth continuing to try. So I hope that you and your mom will both keep at it.
To the middle-aged mind, new things are unkind. Oh, that's too bad. When was the last time you tried something new? Bird watching, taking pictures of them too. Hobby feels like a new hobby. Amazing.
So what we do at Front Parlor is a lot of fun, and I think that's the reason why most people come. But storytelling also has a lot of power beyond that, and there's actually a lot of science about this that talks about how storytelling engages our brain in a unique way and helps us retain information. But ultimately, I think storytelling has this power to kind of bridge divides and even motivate people to change. It's really hard to, hate someone or kind of be against someone when they're up there being vulnerable, sharing an experience from their life. And I know I've experienced a lot of shifts in thinking based on stories I've heard, and I think storytelling has that power if we want to use it to build community or to even motivate changes or to create a better society. We have to be connected to each other to do those things, and I think storytelling has the power to do that.
There's always going to be another adventure around the bend. And the new beginnings, you can't see them from where you are right now.
If you're at all curious about Front Parlor, I'd really encourage you to stop by. There's no pressure to tell a story, but I can guarantee, even as a member of the audience, you're gonna have a good time listening to stories. the kind of range of humanity that we see at this event is so heartwarming. I cry at almost every one of these. People are just out here telling really moving and beautiful stories. So at the very least, come to experience that. And who knows, you might surprise yourself halfway through the event, put your name on my list, and get in front of the mic.
Thank you.
The Iroquois Museum is an educational museum dedicated to fostering understanding of Iroquois culture using Iroquois art as a window to that culture. Jade Warwick recently spoke with the museum's assistant to the director, Heather Livengood, to learn about some exciting upcoming events.
Welcome to A House for Arts, Heather.
Thank you.
Yeah, super excited to talk to you, everything creative and what's going on at the Iroquois Museum. So before we even begin, what is the Iroquois Museum and what's your role there?
The Iroquois Museum is a non-profit archaeological art museum that has one of the largest collections of Iroquois or Haudenosaunee, as they prefer to be called, art. We're an in-house cave, Schoharie County, and just a beautiful museum to see. It's replicated of a longhouse, and we have many beautiful things to see there. My role is the assistant to the director. It's a position that the director and the president of the board kind of made for me. I was a volunteer there for a couple years, and then I had some availability. So they helped me create this position. I am in charge of mostly marketing. I am in charge of the shop, the museum shop, and I do a lot of the scheduling, and I assist in all the educational programs that we have at the museum currently.
Now, when you say longhouse, what is a longhouse? The
longhouse is the traditional home of the people that used to live in this area. Our building is very interesting. It's everything is very symbolic in the building. Even the beams, the rafters that go on the top of the building, go in the form of a wampum belt. So, a wampum belt would have told a story. So, it has a lot of meaning to it.
It's amazing. So it's like even in the building's bones, like a respect for the indigenous communities.
Yes.
So what sparked your passion to get into Indigenous Native education and advocacy?
Well, this is kind of crazy, but when I was about 12, I found out that I was biologically had a different heritage than I was raised. I was raised more in the Italian community, and I found out I was more Irish than anything else. And I felt a loss of knowledge, like I didn't know anything about the Irish, I didn't know any traditions, that kind of thing, and that's a little important to me. So at the time, we were also studying the Native Americans in history class, which is my favorite subject. I'm a former history teacher. So that really stuck with me. So having a loss of culture and loss of identity because of the period of the residential schools and what the United States and Canada has done to these people, I really felt very akin to it. So it's really driven me for a long time.
Yeah, and do you feel that in multiple aspects, you find knowing your heritage and ancestry really important for all folks? Do you think that's important for everyone to?
Well, I don't disrespect. I'm proud of where I have been. I'm proud of my Italian too. I mean, I found that very interesting and comforting. I just feel like some people have had their toes stepped on, and I don't. We took it away from them, unbeknownst to them. Where mine was just my step-grandfather didn't want to talk about the past, and that was his generational thing, and I would never do anything to disrespect him, and that's how come I don't really know more about the Irish side of my family, because I didn't want to disrespect that person. Yeah. But that's a whole different situation from where, we've taken these children from their homes and cut their hair and taught them not to do their religion, and they couldn't speak their language. And we have, now years and years of trauma, generational trauma with the people, and, but at the same time, there's such a beautiful comeback right now, like we have seen throughout the years, and more people are reaching out and
Getting connected.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a little bit about the upcoming festival, which seems to be a huge connector for Indigenous communities and non-Indigenous communities. So let's give a little bit of background about what's this festival coming up.
Yeah, it is great. It's the 41st festival, Iroquois Festival at the museum. It's going to be August 31st and September 1st, 10 to 5, both days. This year on Saturday, we will have opening ceremonies. We will have Perry Ground, who will be our MC and storyteller. We'll have the Sky Dancers perform twice during the day. We have Kevin Stacy coming to do a lacrosse demonstration both days. On Saturday, we'll have the Iroquois Indian Band, which is actually a marching band. All of that will be on Sunday as well, except the band, we're going to have one of our staff members, Mike Tarbell. He's going to do Tools of the Trade, and he's Mohawk, and he works with us, and it's wonderful. He does our educational programs.
Awesome. So there seems to be activities, food, music, dancing?
Yes. In addition to the main stage, we'll have a food truck, which is Onondaga food truck. We have the art tent, the children's tent, the flit napping tent, endangered species section. And of course, the museum's open, so you can take a tour of the museum, walk the nature trails, and of course, shop in the museum shop.
Awesome. Witnessing the beauty of the art and the culture is my favorite part, but close second is the gift shop. So how have you seen this festival since it's on its 41st year? How have you seen this festival impact the community at large?
We have a lot of local people that come and return year after year. We're really making an effort this year to reach out to the local community.
And do you feel like they're gaining a lot of respect for the Haudenosaunee culture and understanding the history and the trauma behind?
Well, I think that we're just an afterthought for a lot of people. Oh yeah, the museum's there, I'll get there sometime. And now we're doing other things like within the community, like we had a teacher appreciation day, we've had a blood drive last week, we have the animal shelter day coming up. So we're trying to incorporate more things locally so people will come and share. And we also have our annual fundraiser, which is August 2nd. It's Roots Rhythm and Ale, and we bring all the local artists in and a couple of local bands, and we just have a party at night.
Nice.
And it's fun because it is all local.
Now, what about, so when folks walk into this museum, you know, I know you have exhibitions and workshops and things like that. Do you want to describe a couple that are upcoming that folks can enjoy?
Well, we have a couple artist demonstrations coming up, which are really interesting. Margaret Jacobs is going to do a welding demonstration and workshop. She works in steel. We have a luthier coming, Glenn Hill from Akwesasne. He makes beautiful guitars. We have a talk with Hannah Claus. She currently has the most popular piece in the new exhibit for this year, Outside the Box. And of course, we have our like early technology day in October, which all of our archaeological staff come, and they can identify points or bowls or anything that you happen to have, and you can bring it to, or you just watch the demonstrations, and the kids get to flint, nap, and do that. We're trying to provide as much education and interesting, fun things that we can do for the community.
Thank you so much, Heather, for sitting down to talk to us. I hope folks go visit the festival and all these beautiful workshops that are at the Iroquois Museum. And again, thank you for visiting us today.
Thank you for having us.
Please welcome Will Pedicone.
Without some silence to stew on, there was so much to worry about. If I let my mind roam around the same avenues, I'd go down and I'd see the same regrets and where I thought I ought to be. I thought that baby, since I was 18, and all I wanted was somebody beside me. And if I worked hard, everything would fall into place around me. How it's worked out, I just keep working now. I'm on repeat every week and it's not slowing down. Some people think that a drink is not an answer for a problem, but I could use another. No, I never had an answer when someone would ask, and I just make something up and get them off my back. But I want something wrong with my life and my brain, when I just want someone to love and build a home around here. I thought that maybe since I was 18, and all I wanted was somebody beside me. And if I worked hard and buy myself a car, everything would fall into place around me. It's not how it's worked out, I just keep working now. I'm on repeat every week and it's not slowing down. Some people think that a drink is not an answer for a problem, but I could use another round. I wouldn't mind working so much if I was feeling your touch at the end of the day. But you know, I thought that maybe since I was 18, and all I wanted was somebody beside me. And if I worked hard and bought myself a car, everything would fall into place around me. How it's worked out, I just keep working now. I'm on repeat every week and it's not slowing down. Some people think that a drink is not an answer for a problem, but I could use another round. I wonder, where did you go? Yeah, I wonder, do you feel alone? You packed all your things and went home, so we were told. Now I like to keep to myself, I don't like to make, don't need show and tell, but I know you want me to know. But don't you see what I know? That I don't do crazy and I can't ignore the sign that we're way past the end of the line. I can't live in your fantasy all of the time. Now don't get me wrong, all our good moments were real. I never bothered to learn, said and didn't feel anything besides what comes first to my mind. No, I don't pretend and I don't like to lie, but things they change on a dime, with the things that we say and display over time. And I don't do crazy and I can't ignore a sign that we're way past the end of the line. I can't live in your fantasy all of the time. No, I don't do crazy and I can't ignore signs. When we're way past the end of the line, I can't live in your fantasy all the time. No, I can't live in your fantasy when it's not mine.
Thanks for joining us. For more arts, visit WMHT.org/aha and be sure to connect with us on social. I'm Matt Rogowitz. Thanks for watching.
Funding for AHA has been provided by your contribution and by contributions to the WMHT Venture Fund. Contributors include the Leo Cox Beach Philanthropic Foundation, Chet and Karen Alpelka, Robert and Doris Fisher Melisardi, and the Robeson Family Foundation.
At M&T Bank, we understand that the vitality of our communities is crucial to our continued success. That's why we take an active role in our community. M&T Bank is pleased to support WMHT programming that highlights the arts, and we invite you to do the same.